Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chris's Monday Morning Breakfast Thoughts. Today we're starting off with cereal. It's been a little while since we've actually had cereal. We're having Temmie's Flour Power. Sounds kind of fun. This is, Allison would actually not define this as cereal. She would define this as candy. So this is maybe not a breakfast thought as much as it's an early morning sweets thought. So today I've decided I'm going to sort of explore this. I'm going to tell you something about Temmie's Flour Power. I had a few of them earlier. As you can see from the bowl here, they're not flowers, they're stars. I think anybody could argue that these are not flowers, but they're stars. I mean, maybe they're kind of flowery, but you know, if I was to point this out here, that is a star. So it's a little disappointing, and I mean, it's kind of a weird thing to have a cereal themed to hippiness and all that, but it's a little strange. But, you know, whatever. It's fun. It's got a cool box. I love boxes. I'm actually working on a set right now for this, where I'm going to try and have cool boxes that I've collected over the last little while and have like a background, because for now all you see is my drawing stuff, and if you look over there you'll even see some sketches for the new Candy Critic website. But here we are, Temmie's Flour Power. The green ones are a little disturbing, but not too bad. Speaking of cereal, let's talk about the news. One of the big headlines going on right now is there was some weed killer found in some cereals, and everybody's starting to freak out. And it went from small traces of weed killer found in some cereals to cereals are poisonous. I'm not sure where that stands. I'm not a scientist by any stretch of the imagination, so I don't know whether or not you know, this weed killer is actually deadly and everything like that. There was a recall, so hopefully people aren't eating this cereal. But it's the big news right now. Everybody's afraid that their cereal is going to kill them. So, I mean, other than maybe too many carbs, I don't know. I'm not too sure, but it's in the news. The other thing that's sort of come up recently, I recently took a picture of something called Tiki. I think it was Tiki, and it was a Pocky ripoff. And I've been thinking about this because I'm updating the new Candy Critic site, and I'm adding some new sections to be able to look stuff up, including you're going to be able to look up by scores, which is kind of neat. But I'm thinking about putting a section of fake candy. So it would be candy that's like other candy, but not, you know, like copies of it. Like this Tiki is the fake Pocky, and I've seen a million fake Kit Kat bars and everything like that. But the only thing I'm not sure is the gray area. Is like I might end up posting something as a copy and then find out that it's actually the original. The classic is the Oreo cookie is not actually the original version of it. You can, if you look that up, you'll discover that there was a cookie before Oreo, and they just didn't make it as famous, probably because of their name, because it sounds like a bleach. But yeah, speaking of that, we are of course doing our site update. People on Patreon are of course getting a cool preview, but we're working hard on getting a whole bunch of stuff done. We're going to be working on the blog this week. We're going to be updating it to the new look of Candy Critic. A lot of our social media is sort of going towards the new look. We have sort of a new logo and a new way we're doing the type. So we're going to try and do the blog this week. So if you notice that the blog changes, that's why. If you notice that it's kind of not working and looking kind of weird, we might be in the middle of doing it. So keep an eye out for that. We're still putting all of our stuff. We're actually doing a database of all of our reviews for the first time, and finding that I'm horrible at spelling because there's a whole bunch of problems. But also that it's gonna allow us to break it up into more categories. So look forward to that in the long term, because that's gonna be a while away. We're still working on, I think, the C's as far as entering it in a database. The other thing we're doing with this database is we're gonna go through a bunch of reviews and edit them a little bit better. We found that there's some older reviews that I've done that are really, really sort of crappy, and I think need to be updated. Not as much content. I mean, how things are reviewed is going to stay the same. I'm not going to change my scores on anything like that. But in a few things, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. And then there's also going to be a few things where I'm just going to fix the spelling and grammar a little bit more. This week also, look for a new episode of Junk Food on the Road. We'll be posting that probably on Wednesday. This episode we're going to be talking about Finland, and we have some special guests, so we're looking forward to that. So Allison and I talk about our trip to Finland. We actually recorded this episode in Finland with some Finnish friends, so they have some experience with Finnish food and Finnish junk food. So that's kind of fun. I'm going to go for another bite. Seems like there's purple and kind of reddish purple ones in here. That's kind of weird. Finally, I'm going to jump on our Patreon box. Remember to follow us on Patreon if you can. Help support the site. You get this video ahead of time. You're going to be more involved with you get more views of the new version of the site. We're also on Wednesdays. Our Patreon followers get to choose what I'm going to review on Thursday. I give you guys some options, and you get to pick whatever you want me to review. And in the future, we're going to have, and I've done this before, you guys get to choose what I review for an episodes of Chris, Why Would You Eat That, and other things like that. So support us on Patreon if you can. It would be really helpful. It'd be really great if you could do that. Finally, if you want to just follow us on Facebook and Twitter, we also post a whole bunch of stuff there. We also post a bunch of news and stuff like that. More articles about this whole cereal thing are going up there. And you can also follow us on all of our social media. It's at Candy Critic for Twitter. You can go to candycritic.org, our website, and you can always find links to all of our other social media, including Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr. We're on all that kind of stuff. And we're dying to hear from you. We're dying to hear what you have to say about the site, and dying to show you all kinds of the new stuff that we discover and tell you about what we're baking and all kinds of stuff like that. So thanks for watching another episode of Chris's Monday Morning Breakfast Thoughts, which I'm still trying to figure out a better name. Still haven't done it yet. But thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye.